Sally Hancock here, and today I'm going to be making some die storage envelopes. I don't know about you, but I hate how they are all sticky. This one really was driving me crazy because the sticky got on the plastic, and then they're like, sometimes they're super hard to get off. Anyway, so my sister Susan from over at Three Sisters Sundries had an excellent idea, and she made some storage envelopes to put all her dies in. Then she made a cute label to put on the outside, and then cut all of her die cuts out and glued them on the outside of the envelope so she'd know what they look like. And I thought, what a fantastic idea. So she made kind of a long coin storage envelope. So this is a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And she scored it at 3.5 inches and 9 inches, and then turned it this way and did it at 1 inch on either end. And then if you fold it, you put the longer side in first, and then the shorter side, and then you glue this down like this, and then you glue this flap like this. And I rounded the corners here. I was just practicing to see if I like this on a piece of paper that I know I'll never use, and rounded these corners, and I rounded these corners too, but I didn't round those because I knew they'd be covered up. And she just put her dies in loose like that, so she'll just have to tip it out to get the dies out. I bought some magnet sheets that I thought would be really nice. And I like this, but I wanted one that opened on the long side because I thought that would be easier to get them in and out. So I made this envelope, kind of practicing, kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay because it's just practice. So I scored at 1 inch and then 6 3/4, and then I turned it and scored 1 inch on each side, and realized I should have cut this one off and not this one off. Anyway, and so you just fold it, and I glue these flaps down, and I rounded these corners here. I don't think I'd round these, maybe just a smidge. And then that way I can put my dies on my magnet sheet and slide them in and out. Anyway, so I am going to walk through creating one of these for reals. So I have this gorgeous paper that's really old. It's from Basic Gray, which will tell you how old it is since they no longer are in existence. But the first step is to Mod Podge your paper so it can hold up to lots of use. And so I just have this Mod Podge here. And I'm just gonna brush it on. Okay, I think that is all the way covered. So I'm just going to let this dry, and then I'll be back to create the envelope. All right, my Mod Podge dried in about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. But then I was reading on the bottle of it that it said to eliminate tackiness, apply clear acrylic sealer over the top. So I had some of that. Ooh, I don't have it by me, but that said to wait an hour to dry. So before you handle it, like it's dry to the touch in 30 minutes, and you could do a second coat. I'm pretty sure I don't need a second coat for this since it's just paper, but so I need to let this dry a little bit longer. So while I was waiting, I thought I would start cutting out some of my dies. So I have my cute little sidekick here, which, by the way, I saw at Tuesday Morning for only $25. So if you want that, now's a good time to get it. So I am going to start with cutting out the dies that came with this sidekick. So okay, I also Mod Podged and sprayed this beautiful paper. Oh, isn't it gorgeous? And that's pretty stripe on the back. Oh, kind of hard to choose, but I really like this. Okay, so I want my envelope, the pattern, so I'm just paying attention to the pattern. I want it to be, let's see, this looks like the, well, they're going both ways, so it doesn't matter. I want the flap to be here or here, okay? So I will score, oh yeah, I think I'll score on the back. Might be easier without the Mod Podge and stuff on it. Okay, so I was scoring at 1 inch. And 6 3/4. And then turning it quarter turn and scoring 1 inch at each end. All right, so then we want to remove the corners. So 2 will have just little squares and then 2 will be longer rectangles. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut a little bit off. Not quite in the, with my, there it is. Folders right there. Do the sides. Okay, so these kind of have a little bit of bulk, so I'm gonna just take a little bit off there, a little triangular cut on both of those sides there. There we go, and then I want, oops, I want these a little bit rounded. So I'm going to use my little spool of twine here. Okay, so I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. Glue the sides down. Oh my, quite a big blobby. Okay, but I want to make sure that I'm not getting it past there. It's about where I started the rounded corner. where I don't want glue. Okay. Put that in. Put this down. There we go. Oops. Still got glue too high. Darn it. All right. There. That is all glued together. Oh, so pretty. Okay, now to close the envelope, I have some Velcro dots. Okay, so, but they are too big. So I think I'm gonna mark. So they need to go above that. So I'm gonna put that like that and then trim it off. Oh, oops. Stick that back on. And then just put one on top like that. Do it down and just trim that edge off right there. There we go. And then do the same thing over here. There. Do a little trimming. Like that. Oh, looky there. That one got all the way covered, so I don't need to trim any of it. Okay, these don't stick the greatest, but they will serve my purpose. Okay, so now I want to put a grommet or an eyelet right here in the corner so I can hang it on my shelf. So let's move this out of the way. So to do that, I'm going to use my crocodile. The eyelets are 1/4 inch. The hole width that my crocodile makes is just a little bit too small. Let me get these eyelets out here. But I found a workaround. Okay, so I made this little template as to where I want my hole. So just make a little dot with my pen and make sure my settings are at 3/4. And I just kind of push down on it a little bit until I see where to place my envelope. Okay, so now what I did was I just cut little slits, little teeny tiny slits to make it to where the paper would bend up around that eyelet. You don't have to use these big eyelets. I just thought they would look cute You can probably just use a regular eyelet. I'm going to hang them with these, so as long as your hole is big enough to fit that through, that will work. Okay, so to use these, oh, it's kind of bent. Hopefully it'll still work. You take the one that has the smaller opening, and that's going to be your nice looking side. So I'm going to put that on the front of the envelope, and then just really work it so that goes down. Now these are for fabric, so they are expecting you to have a lot thicker layers than just 2 pieces of paper. So it's going to have kind of a little bit of a gap, but I think it will look okay. And so then you take your one that has the larger opening, place it on top around here like that, and then you have to get this tool kit to put it in there. And you take your little, I think it's called an anvil, and just put it behind your eyelet like that. You can feel it kind of click in there. And then you have your setting tool, and that goes around the outside, and then you just hit it. It says gently, so well, but I have a tiny hammer, so that is done. All right, so now I will have these shower curtain rings. I just got the eyelets and the shower curtain rings at Walmart. These were only 99 cents. I think together, getting the eyelets and the toolkit, it was maybe $5. But like I say, you can just use regular size eyelets. And then this will just slip through here. And I'll hang that on my shelf. And then I can see the pretties. So maybe I'll put the what it is on this side, and then the die cuts on this side. So I've got my die cuts, if I can find them in my mess. So I'll just put these on like this, and all my numbers. Put all my numbers on. And I guess you can't tell as much. I might try inking this so you can see the embossing better. Okay, so I'm going to glue these things on and then come right back. Okay, after much fussing around, I decided what I wanted to do was just make some labels and put it under, and then do another set on the back and have 2 sets in one envelope. So I decided to use this cream cardstock and just use these decorative scissors to edge it to make it look a little bit prettier. And I'm gonna attempt to try my new thing I'm learning of, like, I don't know what you call it, modern calligraphy, I guess is what they call it. Just put some glue on the back of this. Center that under my die cuts there. Okay, so now I have my dies on this magnet sheet. The magnet is not like the most sticky thing. Shoot. I'm missing one. Well, I guess I'll find it in a minute. So I think what I'll do is just make this as tight as possible and then just trim it. Let's see if it'll fit in my trimmer here. With the dies on there. That should work. Well, this cuts very well in my trimmer. Wasn't sure how well it would do. Maybe that way. Okay, I just gotta find one die, but I'll do that later. Okay, so here's all my pieces for this one. And then I can just slide them in the envelope. Embossing folder. Okay, and then I can just hang that on the shelf, but because I decided to do two, and then I can just do the other pieces on the back. So I recently went to, oh, there's my little die. There it is. I went to Tuesday morning, and I had been wanting these because they go with the Sidekick. They're called side orders, and they had all these for $5. So that's not all of them that they make, but it's a good chunk of them. So I think I'll put one in with this set. So I will cut these out and then come back. There. Okay, that outside is done. Now I will just gather up my dies. I noticed they stuck better if I put the flat side down. Well, plus these have really sticky glue all over them, so that'll probably help. Okay, let's see if I can fit my trimmer in all this mess here. Okay. More at the top. And there we go. Okay, so we'll show that on one side and this on the other. And now I will, oh, it'll be so much easier to just open the envelope and pull this out and just pop it right off the magnet. That'll be much easier than dealing with the stickiness of the packaging. Okay, so I will hang this up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so there is what it looks like on my shelf. So I am not sure how many I'll need to make. I have quite a stack of dies that I want to do. Okay, here is my project all completed. I think it looks so pretty. And I had way more dies than I thought, and it was quite a big project. Now this one came in a plastic storage envelope anyway, so I just left it in that one. And then I think I'll get some clear pockets and do my, what are those called? Oh, my brain. Embossing folders, and hang those up as well. But I really love seeing this beautiful paper out, and it will be just so easy. I can either, make sure you can see, unclip them and just take them off and take them to my workspace and then clip them back on, or I could probably just flip them out and then grab the dies or whatever out of the envelope and then put them back. So I really love how it turned out. So thank you for watching.